Let's see what we can find up here. Where are you? Well, one thing for sure, when you get a telescope and you learn about it, it'll take a little time. It'll take a little time to actually get to the point where you're able to like just run through it with ease. I mean, even for me, it's a learning process because I'm just now beginning to get into it myself. So there's still a great deal of things I have to learn, and still some modifications I'd like to do to this scope to make my viewing pleasure a whole lot easier and a whole lot faster on the setup. For number one, this little scope here, this little spotter scope, is coming off. It has to go. I think I'm going to upgrade to a a camera finder, so it'll take full control of this unit. I actually could program this unit to try to find the stars itself, but this scope is just kind of like the downside to this, and it'll be a lot of work for me to try to use this scope. So I just rather get the camera alignment kit and just be able to install it and have it do the hard part of trying to get this thing set up and align on objects in the sky at night. But other than that, this is an awesome scope. Very awesome scope. Let's see what we can find here. Alright. I think I just saw satellite zip by. Oh, sure, no, it's a satellite. Rocket ship. Come by and say hey. Alrighty then. Got something here. Swing it back around so I can find some clusters maybe. I'm gonna go back to that real bright star that I'm certain is a planet. There we go. That, by golly, is a planet. And right now I'm looking at an entire cluster here. And I have to keep manual tracking right now. So keep in mind that as I'm looking at this, the objects are constantly moving because of course you know our planet moves. So it's only in the scope for so long. When you look up at the sky with the naked eye, it seems like it's in the same place, but when you look through this scope, it's not there. It's constantly moving. But by God, that's definitely has to be a planet. see if we can get a little bit more zoom on that. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna bring it to the maximum exposure. Take it right down a little bit. It is extremely bright. Alright, let's go along to the side and see what we can find around it. It's a whole nother cluster of stars there. It's fascinating, really, watching the night skies. As you peep through the scope, and every now and then you have an object zip across your lens, or the thought of you being able to look at an object not even on this planet extremely close on a scope. It's truly fascinating. And then once I go back to that star, everything's bright again. So I think I'm going to try an alignment and actually use the star map on this thing, since that star's up there bright enough for me to get an alignment job. All right. So we'll grab the remote. I'll hit a line. The time I'm uncertain of, so I'll just say, for good measure, let's say 9 o'clock. Let's see if I can get this device to cooperate. All right. So hit enter to begin. Skyline. Yes. Enter your city. I would if it let me. I mean, it says enter, enter, enter. Oh my goodness. Enter your state. Trying to get to that. Got it. That's interesting. So these mosquitoes. Alright, let's just keep on scrolling here. Alright. Let's just say for good measure it's 9 o'clock. Yeah, we're gonna say PM. Yes. And we go 5th. center on the object. See if it's still centered. Because remember, that object moves constantly, and already it's out of the scope. In a blink of an eye, the object is out of the scope, and I'm unable to track it at the moment. There we go. Let's see if we can find that object.